Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. All my supplies you can purchase from me through Stampin' Up! At the address at the top of the screen, and it's also linked below. All the measurements are on my blog, which is linked below too. So, today I used the third image from Easter Friends. I used the bunny and the chick in earlier videos. I probably will use the bunny a different way again. But this is a, well, you can put anything in it, but I put in the Hershey foil eggs, the milk chocolate, and this was 9 ounces. I got them at Target, and I think they were $3.59. Excuse me. The actual box length is 5 by 2 3/4 by 1 inch. Alrighty, I fit about 10 of these eggs in there. And I love how the green almost matches the Just Jade I used. I used Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper, which is the 4 by 6 size. I used the seasonal label dies for the sentiment and the layering circle dies for the chick embellishment. Alrighty, I also used this ribbon is from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon pack, and it's the Just Jade gingham ribbon. Alright, what we need today. Okay, we need some basic white for stamping. We need a piece of Just Jade cardstock that is 8 by 6. We need 2 pieces of the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper that are 2.5 by 3 3/4. And we need a smooth circle out of basic white, and this one is 1 3/8 inch. And the scallop circle out of Just Jade, and that's just a little bit bigger. And these are from the layering circle dies. Alright, I also did use some in-color jewels on this. Alrighty. Okay, let's start with our piece of 8 by 6 Just Jade cardstock. And I'm going to get my Simply Scored. Okay, and we're going to start on the 8-inch side. And we're going to score at 1, 3 3/4, 4 3/4, and 7.5. Then we're going to turn it to the 6-inch side, and we're going to score at 1 and at 5. Oh dear, I jumped. Oh well, that's alright. I'll make sure this is the back one. Okay, let me see what I could do to fix that. I hit my finger. Alright, I'm just going to try to just flatten this one a little bit. At least it'll be in the back. Okay. Alright, and then I'm just going to fold and burnish and give you my spiel about Celebration is just till the 28th, and you get free products for every $50 you spent, and if you decide to join my team during Celebration, you get an extra 2 stamp sets along with the $125 worth of product for $99 free shipping. And if you want to join, you can join just for the offer and not continue after 3 months. But for that 3 months, you get 20% off. Okay, now your skinniest rectangle is on the right-hand side. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of the 2 squares and this rectangle at the top, 1 rectangle at the bottom, and just wedge these 2 squares. Alrighty? Okay, so we're going to start over on the bottom right where the skinny rectangle is, and we're going to cut up to the first score line on this skinny rectangle at the bottom, and then just wedge a little up above it. Okay, we're going to go to the other side of this rectangle and cut it straight to the first score line. Other side, this rectangle straight to the first score line, and then we're going to wedge the square that's in the middle of them. Okay, move to the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight to the first score line, and then wedge both sides of the square. Okay, So that's the first side. Now we're going to turn it 180 so the skinny rectangle is on the left-hand side. And we'll start over here on the left-hand side. And we're going to get rid of the skinny rectangle and wedge a little bit up into the main body there. Okay. We're going to move to the other side of this rectangle and cut to the first score line. Skip the square. Cut the other rectangle here straight to the first score line. And then put down one of the rectangles so that you can take off the square. Okay. Move to the other side of this rectangle. Cut it straight. And then we're going to take off the square. Alrighty, and that is what your cardstock should look like after you're done cutting and scoring. Now we're going to take the corner rounder on the Detail Trio Punch and round all 4 of the flap corners. So that's what your cardstock should look like after you're done with all the cutting and scoring. Okay, now we're going to put some tear and tape close to the score line on the skinny rectangle. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to take the backing off. And we're going to flip it over, flip the side with the tape, and then the other side to meet it. Okay, so now this is going to be our back. So we're going to put the sides in and the back, and this is where we're going to put the rest of our tear and tape. Make sure you put it close to the edge, and you could add another one inside for good measure if you want to. I guess the chocolate eggs could get a little bit heavy. Okay, take the backings off and stand it up and make sure that the sides are straight. And then just press it in place, and then I'm just going to open it up and press it in there so that it gets adhered well. All right. Okay, now I'm just going to run my fingers down the middle to just get it warmed up a little bit. I don't know if that really helps it, but all right. And then I'm going to squeeze with my push with my pointer here and squeeze my other fingers and get them so that the top comes together nice and evenly. You don't have to do it all the way down because you're going to put more, the eggs are going to be more at the bottom. Alrighty. Okay, so that's our back. This is our front. And we need our 2 pieces of Abstract Beauty DSP. And they're sized 2.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to put them on the front and the back. This is pretty too. But the front was a little bit more Easterish. And I have a feeling, since Just Jade is a 2020 to 2022 retiring color, in color, I have a feeling that the Abstract Beauty will probably be retired after this mini catalog because it has one of the, although sometimes they keep them, so I don't know. But if you like this paper, if they announce that it's retiring, I would get it. Okay. Alright, so let's let that dry a minute, and we're going to need our basic white, and we need the little chick and the sentiment. So for the little chick, we need a piece of scrap, and I'm going to use Tuxedo Black for both. And for the little chick, I'm just going to stamp it off once to make it less sharp. Not less sharp, less bold. Let's say that. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, and then I'll go over here for the sentiment, and this one is My Friend from the same stamp set. You could use a different one from a different stamp set. Doesn't have to be My Friend. Oops, I messed that one up. There we go. Good. Okay. And the My Friend, I'm just going to cut out with this label from the seasonal label dies, and it is the smallest of the ones with the bumps on the end. All right, and I'm just going to put it on, whoops, like this with the extra space towards the beginning so that I can punch a hole to put it on. And I'm just going to put some low-tack tape, and I'll cut that part off, and I will cut that in a minute. Okay, now for our little duck chick, I'm just using two colors. I'm using light pumpkin pie and light so saffron. And I'm going to use the pumpkin pie for the legs and the beak, and the light so saffron for the rest of the chick. I don't feel a need to really shade this much because there's kind of shading in this. I like these kind of stamps. Okay. Now, you can stamp it right on your circle if you want to, if you don't want to have to fussy cut it out, but I wanted it to be a little bit lifted off the background. So now I'm just going to fussy cut this. Okay, and the good part about this fussy cutting is when we put it on top of the white backing, you're not going to see any extra pieces you left there. All right, now I'm going to take the basic white circle that is about 1 3/8. I'm going to just use liquid glue to attach it to the Just Jade scallop circle. And then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals. I mean, I'm going to use actually, I'll put a regular dimensional on the chick, and I'm going to use a mini on his feet. So if you notice on this one, the feet are kind of bending up, and I don't want that to happen. Just put it right there. Okay. And I'm just going to put him right on the circles, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to cut out my sentiment. Okay, I cut out the sentiment. And now I'm going to put 2 holes in my top tabs here. And I'm going to put them just kind of equally. Just make sure that they're together. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put about 10 of these eggs in there. Oops. Alright, and I'm just going to put these in. Okay, and the 10 of them, it closes very nicely and it doesn't really move around. Alright, and then I'm going to take my Just Jade gingham ribbon. Remember, it's from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. And I'm going to put them, these are kind of small holes. You could make them bigger, but I feel like it ties it a little bit tighter. If it's a smaller hole, it doesn't shift as much. But, I mean, it's a little treat holder. It doesn't have to be very tight. Okay. Okay. Oops, I can't do it then. I forgot. I have to put, first I have to put a hole in the top of my sentiment. and then whatever piece of ribbon is on the left side, because that's the side I want the sentiment to be on. Okay. Yeah, I'll tie a bow. Alrighty. And then I'll just clip it off. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this right there. If I hadn't have popped up the chick, I probably would attach this with dimensionals, but I have some dimension on the chick, so I didn't want to put extra. Alrighty. Now for the final touch, I'm going to use some, these are actually 2021 to 2023 in color jewels, but they look nice anyway. Soft succulent. Right, I'm going to put one about right up there. That's a bigger one, and then a smaller one over there, and another smaller one down there, and then I'm going to put one on the end of the sentiment too. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, my email is below. The dimensions are on my blog, which is linked below, and the link to join is linked below. I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.